I thank you for joining me. For episode 2, we got a message from Talia. You just received a message. Open your PDA to view it. So, a little bit of an annoyance. I was pretty sure I saved right here when I left the last episode, but when I came back, it actually set me back about halfway through the previous mission. So that was kind of it. Alright, I just don't... Oh. You should go talk to the sender in person if you want to respond. I just don't understand you. You've always been a little closed off and paranoid, but it got so much worse over the last few weeks. I know you're going through a lot, and I don't even know how to help you, or if it's possible at all to get through to you. Don't expect me to come running after you anymore. If you want, we can talk sometime in the future, when you feel better. Good evening, Chief. Sorry to disturb you on arrival day, but there is something we need to discuss as soon as possible. Come to my office immediately. Talia, and his body will be returned to the ship. He will stay with us until it's just the repeat of the previous thing. All right. I'm glad you're doing better, Chi-Chi. I have some things to take care of. Don't go running off again, okay? Who's the best girl? You are. That's right. Oh, that's adorable. My dog just became angry. That's her.
My handbook said that I had to allow myself to grieve. Live through the pain to overcome it. I tried to bottle it all up instead. But my thoughts kept circling to the events of that night. It had been weeks, and we still had no idea who we'd been chasing down there, or what they'd tried to accomplish. I kept thinking that things would have played out differently if only I'd acted faster. I worked a lot to keep my mind in check. Everybody was out celebrating Arrival Day, but I was glad that the captain called me over.
Okay, up and over, up and over. By the way, our one friend Lewis sounds like a dick. Don't make me come, or I won't come chase after you. Whatever, you terrible human being. Chief Stella, I'm sure you're here to see the captain. Just go on through whenever you need to talk to her. If she's too busy, she'll let you know by locking her door. Oh, I know. Thank you. Captain Talia, you wanted to talk to me? Chief Stella. Thank you for coming so quickly, especially on Arrival Day. Unfortunately, some matters cannot wait. During a routine inspection of Inner Hull B, Enforcer Bodo caught Janitor Rose removing plating from the wall. She was in the process of retrieving a piece of paper hidden inside a secret compartment. Piece of paper? We secured it. Please have a look for yourself. It's on the table over there. Talia wants you to read the letter on the paper. Now that it's relevant to your investigations, you can have a closer look. What was it? There we go. Oh. A suspicious letter. A message written on paper that Janitor Rose retrieved from behind a wall panel in the inner hall. Hello again. Thank you for your message. We have great sympathy for your struggle. You are not alone in thinking that more democracy is needed on the Zephyr, and our case grows stronger every day. Come to the Arrival Day installation in Earth Museum tonight. Talk to one of the job representatives and mention the word freedom. The symbol on this letter will be on their uniform, not necessarily in this color. Another hint can be found inside this very compartment. With this, you should have all the information you need. What do you make of this? I was hoping to get an assessment from my chief of security. Well, sounds troubling. The wording is a little opaque, but unless it's some sort of game, it seems like someone is trying to put together a descendant movement on the ship. The fact that the letter was hidden inside a wall doesn't exactly make it less suspicious. I agree. What's more, it reads like this is not the first letter in this communication. Do you think that whoever wrote this has something to do with... Let's not jump to conclusions, but we need to find out what's behind this as soon as possible. Division among the population could jeopardize the mission, especially if it goes unaddressed for too long. Now, the letter contains instructions on making contact with another person at the arrival day festivities. We'll keep a close eye on the event later tonight. Till then, we have some time to figure out what we're dealing with. I need you to look into 2 things. I will open a separate case about each of them. Your first assignment, find out the intended recipient of this letter. We already have a prime suspect here, Janitor Rose, who was caught retrieving it from its hiding spot. However, when Enforcer Bodo was leading Rose away, she ran into someone else who was not supposed to be down there. Ooh, Technician Lois. His presence in the inner hall seems suspicious. We can't rule out the possibility that he was there to retrieve the letter, and that Janitor Rose just happened upon it. You know, I don't usually intrude into your personal life, but I have to ask, will you be able to remain impartial investigating him? Yes, of course. Good. You might also want to have a look around Rose and Lewis's bunks. Do I have permission to go in there? They are both suspected of a Degree 6 violation. The Codex explicitly allows bunk searchings in this case. Right, of course. Your second assignment might be trickier. Get on the trail of the sender. The only lead we have here is that the note was written on a piece of paper. It makes sense since communication via the PDA network is monitored. However, paper is not distributed for private use, hence it must have been stolen from a public space. As far as I know, there aren't many places on the ship where you can get your hands on it. All of them should be in the public area. Ask Sergeant Aldrich about potential sources of paper. He knows the daily going on better than anyone in the crew. Don't tell him why. I suggest you keep the contents of this letter to ourselves until we know what we're dealing with. Did you get all that? Yes. Yes, Captain. Once you've submitted your results in both cases, come talk to me again. Yes, Captain. One more thing, Stella. I know how hard it is to lose someone you love. But you shouldn't think that you're letting your father down if you stop torturing yourself. I'm fine. Our mission needs a strong, reliable chief of security, especially now that this letter has surfaced. Can I count on you being that for us? Of course. I am aware that none of this is easy. You are very young. But I need to know that you will try. Understood, Captain. I will. Good. We'll talk later. Dismissed. And happy arrival day. Happy arrival day, Captain.
Mnealia rarely let the mask slip, but I'd been seeing it more and more lately. She'd gotten visibly angry the other day, which I'd never seen before. She wasn't taking Dad's death lightly and probably felt increasingly isolated. Or maybe I was just projecting.
The cases Talia have given lead to new areas on the ship. As a result, they are now accessible to you, and their locations can be revealed on the map. The ship is segmented into multiple main areas, 3 of which are accessible now. Each main area contains a train station. In order to immediately travel to a location, simply select it on the map and press F. You'll be taken to the closest available train station. Do I have a... Oh, locker room. Ring. Right. Paper chase. What was written on? Are you waiting for the event to start? That's right, Chief. I'm actually going to be a part of the event. I need to head back inside soon. I'm just here for moral support, and I promised Devrin I'd drop by. Are you coming, Chief? Maybe. I still have some things to take care of. Historian Baptiste, you look upset. Is something the matter? Oh, Chief, I'll be fine. Just need a minute. Did something happen? It's just... We were going to show this year's messages from Earth after the show. The captain only just forwarded them to us, and I was going over all the files. Seems like this year, a lot of personal messages from friends and family were included. When I heard that, I was really expected to find one from my own kids. But it seems they didn't send one. So I wondered, is it possible that they couldn't be bothered? But I don't think that's it. I know I haven't seen them in a long time, but it's really out of character for them to pass up such an opportunity. Do you think they're in some kind of trouble? Earth would have notified us, right? I'm sorry, I really don't know. I know that Earth notified us about close relatives dying in previous years, but other than that, I don't think they're dead, of course, so what could have stopped them from sending a message? Your guess as good as mine. Whatever got in the way this time around, I'm sure they'll be included next year. I hope you're right. I guess this is going to bother me for at least a year now. I should head back inside. We are setting everything up for tonight. They're probably wondering where I went. Of course. Please, don't worry too much. Mom tried to tell us something in her message. Maybe this has something to do with it? Are they not allowed to speak? Does everyone on Earth know something we don't? Is the gym. And that is the activities room. What needs a pin? Interesting. Alright, well, let's continue down. Welcome everybody, settle down, please. You all know me, I'm Teacher Mnealia. I'm also a member of the Ethics Committee. I feel particularly honored to be giving this year's address because it's a very special arrival day. Today we celebrate the Zephyr's arrival in exactly 100 years, but that's not the only number I have for you. You can imagine that as a teacher, I like to do a little math now and then. 1,300 people are aboard this ship at all times, give or take. In other words, we spend a collective 1,300 years of our lives here every year. In 100 years, that number will have grown to 130,000 years. That is well over 1 million hours. Taking into account the 33 years we have already been here, that makes 1.5 million hours. Now let's face it, we haven't slept all those hours being our most productive. We've been asleep for about a third of them. It may seem that during most of our hours, nothing of importance is happening. We do our jobs, follow our routines, but that's not true. Everything each of us does here is important. We are on the Zephyr. We are bringing humanity out to the stars, and we are bringing the stars to humanity. Nothing we do is ever mundane because we do it light years away from home. Never forget that. However, this does not mean that we shouldn't be doing our best to make each of those hours count. The mission is as fragile as it is important. There is no room for slip-ups or slacking off. And frankly, anything less than 100% dedication doesn't befit pioneers like ourselves. So the next time you find yourself tired or unmotivated or scared, remember these words. We have 1.5 million hours to give to the mission, but all of it could be undone in just one. Spend those hours wisely. Fill them with commitment and purpose and dignity. Happy Arrival Day. Hey Stella, how did you like my speech? I liked it. I think it reminded everyone of some important things. I never thought about how many hours we spend out here. I hoped it would give some people food for thought. Train station. Art Institute. Maintenance. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna go up just to see what the rooms are up there to get them on my map. School. You would think school would have paper. But what do I know? Cafe. Oh, is this Lewis's bunk? Huh? Oh, sorry, I thought... Isn't this Lewis's bunk? It's my son's bunk. He's not here right now. Was he expecting you? Not exactly. Mind if I take a look around? Oh, no, not at all. Feel right at home. I'm sure Lewis will be back soon. So, Stella, how's your father? He died in an accident about a month ago. You didn't know? What? No. Oh, no. My dear William, I'm so sorry. How are you holding up? It's okay. I'm fine. You really missed all of it? The accident, the funeral? It's a pretty big deal. I suppose I did. I'm really sorry. No need to apologize. I'll stick around for a moment if that's okay. My digital note I found says, Mom, please stay in here. Do not go out without me. That message for you on the display over there. It sounds like Lewis wanted you to stay in his bunk. Oh, yeah, he placed it right by the door so I don't forget. Why can't you go out? And besides, don't you have your own bunk? Oh, he's just so protective of me. But sometimes I still go out. I went to the Arrival Day celebrations just last week, and nothing bad happened. That can't be. Last week? You mean last year? Yes, last year. Tina's condition. She's having some kind of issues, isn't she? Usher's bunk. Well, that's not who I'm exploring. His bunk. New evidence, red roses. Janitor's board. Tons of, roses. The latest message on the board is from earlier today. It reads, I have a spill down here. Could you help me real quick? Much appreciated, Isaac. Okay, that keeps Rose up to date on her task across the board. Red roses in a flower pot, a rare sight on the ship. People are allowed to grow their own plants, but very few engage in it because the conditions on the ship make it very difficult. Rose has always had a green thumb. I wonder if her given name somehow determined her obsession with the flowers. Something seems to be wrong with Xena's mental state. Okay, report this. Alright, I need to find out who to talk to and have a look around. Apprehended nearby. Interhole B, the residential area. Maybe my sergeants in the security office have something to say about them too. Janitor Rose? Stella, darling, this is a big misunderstanding. There's no need to keep me locked up like this. Call me Chief. I'm the Chief of Security. Please address me accordingly. Yes, of course. I'm sorry, Chief. You need to tell me what happened. What were you doing in the inner hall? Well, my job. I was on my way back from a cleanup. The integers made a real mess down there. You should have seen it. Metal shavings and oily footprints everywhere. You were caught with a suspicious letter. You were caught trying to retrieve a secret letter from a hidden wall compartment. Yes, dear, I was talking through the hallway and I spotted a plate that seemed a little loose. Fixing this kind of thing is part of my responsibility. I wiggled it a little bit and it just came off. There was a compartment behind it. That's where I found the piece of paper. Did you read it? I thought it was gossip, a love letter maybe. I had no idea. Why didn't you call security? I swear that's what I would have done next, but they showed up a few moments later anyway. Alright, that's all. These are some impressive roses. I don't know how you do it. The secret ingredient is love, dear. I found a message on the board in your bunk. Isaac asked you to come down to the inner hall and clean up a spill. You were in my bunk? I mean, I suppose it's okay if you need to take a look around, but you could have asked. I don't know what to do. I don't want to become a complete dick, but I have the right. The Codex allows me to do in that situation. Did you go up and clean up that spill? Yes, I did. See, I had a good reason to be in Interhole B. That's when I saw the loose plate in the hallway. Why didn't you mention Isaac's message earlier? I didn't think of it. This whole ordeal has made me so nervous, dear. Well, the timing of his The timing of his message does seem to line up. He found a note a short time while later. I told you, it's just a coincidence. Technician Lewis? Technician Lewis? Come on, Stella. No need to be formal. Call me Chief. I'm Chief of Security now, and this is not a private encounter. Please address me appropriately. Okay, Chief. Why am I being detained? I didn't do anything. You'll be let go soon after questioning is complete. Relax, why are you talking like a robot? Stay on topic. I'm not. Stay on topic. What were you doing in the inner hull? What kind of question is this? It's not like I'm not allowed to be there. There aren't many places in the ship where I can be alone for 5 goddamn minutes. What about your bunk? Come on, Lewis. What were you doing down there? That's personal, okay? I don't know what you mean. I talked to your mother. She was at your bunk earlier. At my bunk? What were you doing there? My job. Since when can the crew enter people's bunks on a suspicion? Come on, Lewis. This is a little more than a suspicion. I was probably happy to see you. He was. Lewis, she needs to go see a doctor. What are you talking about? Mom's doing fine. Then why are you hiding her at your place? You must have misunderstood something. You know the rules. Xena may have to be moved into assisted living. You mean we should lock her away? Aren't you already doing that? She receives the care she would need, and my mom left her husband behind on Earth to be here. That's how much she believed in it. Just to be locked away with the crazies for the rest of her life? Where I can only visit her twice a week? Where she can only leave if a staff member feels like accompanying her? Is this how she'll be repaid for giving her entire life to this mission? I'm sorry, but she has severe cognitive problems. You know how dangerous this can get for everyone aboard the ship. If she goes out unattended and I'm looking after her, she won't leave the bunk without me. Please, Stella, don't tell anyone about this. I'll get her to a doctor if it keeps getting worse. Please don't take away the time we can still spend together. You just lost your dad. You'd have to understand how I'd feel. Is this why you're communicating with these people? Because you're hoping they'll change things and protect Xena in some way. It's you, right? They've been talking to you. You know what? Fine. A few days ago, I found an anonymous letter in my bunk. Somebody must have slid it under my door while I was at work. They asked if I was dissatisfied with the situation on the Zephyr, and if I wanted to have a bigger say in how things are going. They instructed me to lean my doormat against the door in an upright position that night, as a sign that I wanted to learn more. So that's what I did. Seriously, that's treason. What are you talking about? I didn't breach the codex in any way. I just wanted to know what these guys were up to, okay? The next letter showed up in my locker at work. I was instructed to write an answer on the back and leave it in a specific place. They described the precise location of an inner wall in the They described a precise location of a wall in the inner hull B. That's where I sent and received the subsequent letter. And Enforcer Bodo caught you on your way there. Yes. So, you lied to me. What would you have done in my place? I'll need to take a detailed statement on this whole exchange, but right now, time is running out. Do you have any idea who is sending these messages and what their goals are? No, they didn't say. My first in-person contact was going to take place tonight at the event. You mean the Arrival Day event at the Earth Museum that's about to start, correct? Do you know who exactly you're supposed to talk to? Not precisely. One of the performers, they split up the instructions across 2 letters, probably as a precaution. Besides the letter you found, there's another hint in the previous one. It said my contact works in Category 2 profession. Listen, Stella, you know me. I was never going to do anything illegal. I was just curious. Investigating this kind of thing is not your job. You know you're supposed to report it to security. For all I know, you were trying to get in on a descendant movement that could jeopardize the whole mission. Descendant movement? You have no idea what they're about, and neither do I. Then why did you signal to them that you were interested? You think it's so wrong what they're saying? You're part of the crew, but me? The general population barely has a right to know or decide anything. And I do? This is a mission, and we're all part of it. And who came up with that mission? Bunch of dipshits back on Earth that aren't even here. Some of them died years ago. I'm tired of carrying out someone else's plans. Mission is not about your personal needs, it's about ensuring the survival of our species. That doesn't change the fact that we're the ones who should be making the rules. We spend our entire goddamn lives on this ship.
I couldn't believe what he was saying. I'd known for a while that Lewis was unhappy about how certain things worked on the ship, but I'd never thought he would lose faith in the mission. I knew him better than almost anyone in the general population. If his views were this radical and I didn't notice, what about everybody else? Maybe the crew was losing touch. I knew we had to face this before it got worse.
Okay, so cases. Who was the letter addressed to? Lewis. Mitt. Okay. Worth this to my sergeant. Okay. I need to find out the best lead we have. Maybe it's the activities room is closed. Maybe its caretaker can help me out. Okay, so we gotta go to the security office. I forget, you gotta forward and then over. Okay. Okay, this is her room. Okay, I'm slightly confused. Chief, ready for some updates? Sure. The Ethics Committee invited you to their next monthly meeting. Chief William always declined these invitations because he wanted to keep the security separate from the judicial branch. Do you want to continue with this direction or change things up? I'll go. Can't hurt to hear what they say about these meetings at least once. Tell them I'm coming. I'll do. In other news, received an anonymous report from the bio area earlier today. There's a shortage of painkillers at the hospital, and nobody seems to know why. Could be mismanagement, but could also be foul play. You should probably look into it sooner or later. But for now, Captain wants you to talk to the suspects in the brig. She didn't tell us why they were apprehended, and I'm sure you know. Probably it wasn't an oversight, Paul. I can't tell you. I'm sorry. I'm sure the captain will share more information soon. That's it for now. Let us know if we can help you with your investigations. Sergeants, I need to tell you about something I discovered while looking into Lewis. His mother, Zena, is staying in his bunk. She doesn't seem to be all there. Maybe she should be evaluated by medical staff. What's wrong with her? She doesn't remember things, even when we just talked about them. She's living in her son's bunk? It seemed that way. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, Chief. We'll send someone over. Thank you. I have a question. Maybe you can help me with this, Sergeant Aldrich. At your service, Chief. Do you know where on the ship they're still using paper? Paper? That's an unexpected question. Definitely nowhere in the command area. I think it's only for educational purposes and for entertainment. Oop, called it. I know that they use it in the activities room. I'm pretty sure it's being used in several places around the public area, definitely at the school. Does this pertain to an investigation? Yes, exactly, but it's something I'll have to take care of myself. Of course, let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. Thank you. I'll take a look around the public area. Okay, so cases, now that I've reported his mother. Mitt. New message. I saw you submitted some first results. Please refrain from confronting any potential suspects with your findings for now. Come to my office as soon as you're done with the second case. Okay. We got that. Let's see what time. Okay. I think I'm going to leave you guys here. I will continue with the second case in the next episode. Thank you for keeping me company. Well, I guess before I do that, now I'm really afraid to leave because I need to know if the game is going to save. I don't know, to be honest. Oh my gosh. I'm afraid to live. So you don't have to worry about it, okay? I'm sure you make an excellent contribution to the mission. In fact, you're already doing so every day. Oh, okay. Good, then get back out there whenever you're ready. Hey, Stella. Always working, huh? Yeah, well, I saw Darren walk away crying, so I had a little chat with him. Mariola told him the other day that if his bad performance at school continued, he would bring no merit to the mission. Oof. When he heard her speech just now, he projected some of it onto himself. I see. Very nice of you to cheer him up. I consider it a part of my job as a teacher. Anyway, that Arrival Day event is starting soon. Till then, I'll be at the cafe in case you want to join me. I need to get out of here. Sorry, let's chat upstairs. Sure, I understand. Paper leftovers. class's timetable. Recycler. All recyclers seem to look identical, so I'm not creating separate entries for them. I'll write down where I find them in the public area in case it's useful for tracking the recycled paper. Unfortunately, I can't see any historical recycling data on their screens. It just says, in case of malfunction, please consult the professionals in the recycling center, Inner Hall B. I found a recycler in the school classroom. Well, recycling center. Classes take place from 8 to 12 in the morning and resume from 2 to 5 in the afternoon. Over. In a previous letter from a mysterious group, Lewis was given another piece of instructions for the arrival day festivities at the Earth Museum. It said something like, your contact at the event works in Category 2 profession. Because Lewis has once destroyed the letter, the information is based solely on the claims he made during his confession. That's someone from the recycling program? Let's see, this one's numbers look slightly more worn out than others. On 2480. Paper leftovers. Go to the Earth Museum. Sorry, I know that probably is really annoying. Sorry. Alright. Evidence. The recycling center. 190 grams of paper left this week at the room. Cafe. Navigator Asher lives. Oh, that's not where I meant to go at all. Cycling. Alright. I think. This is. Okay. Stella, good to see you. Sorry I took off so quickly earlier. How are you? I'm good. Come on, I've known you long enough. What's the matter? I still miss my dad. You know, I know how much you've always looked up to him. I can only imagine how hard it is to find your footing again, but I know you will. Yeah, you're probably right, as always. Thank you. Always. Hey, one question. I saw a stack of paper on the classroom table. Yes, we sometimes use paper in our classes. Why do you ask? For something I'm investigating. Can I ask you a few questions about the paper you use here? Of course. How do you get your paper? Our supplies are refilled through the distribution system at the start of each week. We always have 1,200 grams available for our classes. Do you have more paper when there's leftover? Do you have more paper when there's leftovers from the previous week? No, refills are always up to the same fixed amount. Thank you. I have another question. What happens to the used paper? The kids take photos of their texts or drawings and save them to their PDAs. When class is over, I collect all the sheets and throw them in the recycler in the classroom. Are people ever allowed to take the paper home? No, paper is strictly a public resource. Every used sheet has to be recycled. Would you notice if someone broke the rules and took a sheet or two home? Well, I can't have an eye on everyone all the time, but I made the rules very clear. I would be surprised if someone deliberately broke them. Why do you ask? Might be related to a case I'm working. Oh, that's... you... Okay, that's not gonna help me. Me? How do I find who works in recycling? Space attached to the Earth Museum offering a range of activities, only accessible to the public under supervision of caretaker Devrin. Well, how do I find caretaker Devrin? So we gotta find caretaker Devrin. Hey, Chief, hi. The Art Institute is already closed for the day, but feel free to look around for feel free to have a look around our Arrival Day exposition if you like. I'll stay here for a while anyway. No plans for Arrival Day later? No, it's just I've been a little introspective lately. Are you alright? Introspective? Everything alright? I've been helping a lot with the Arrival Day preparations like every year, and it's made me think about my role here. Maybe you're not the right person to ask this, but ask what? What would you say is the role of art in society? By extension, the role of an artist? I'm not sure I understand the question. Oh, I do. As an artist, I understand the question. I mean, is art there to uphold the system it exists in or to challenge it? It depends on the system, wouldn't you say? If it's good, art should uphold it. If it's bad, art should be the critical of it. That's a diplomatic response. But is the system ever just good or bad? I'll need to think about it some more. Hey, I've been meaning to ask you, how is Chi-Chi doing? She's back to her old self. Thank you for asking. It's good to hear. Worrying about your pet is the worst. I'm glad that's over. Hey, happy Arrival Day. Happy Arrival Day. Recycling center? Oh, I answered my question about where a recycling center is. Hey, Engineer Isaac. Huh? Oh, hi, Chief. Sorry, I didn't hear you coming. A crew member down here in the hall? What do I owe the pleasure? I'm investigating a security matter. I see. Well, welcome to the club of people working on Arrival Day. Feel free to look around here, but please don't touch anything. You'll excuse me, I have to take care of the tubes here before another accident happens. Time, resource paper. What? Okay, class takes between 8 and 12 in the morning and resume 2 to 5. That's an overview of which materials were recycled at what time. You can't see in which recycler they were thrown, though. The ethics committee decided that it would unnecessarily intrude on everyone's privacy. I'm looking for places on the ship that use paper. You can probably help me with this, right? Usage of paper is pretty limited. As far as I know, there are only 3 places on the ship that have any. All in the public area, activities room, the school, and the art institute. All in the public area. Can I ask you a few questions about the paper? Sure. Tell me, how much recycled paper this week? Is there any way to check how much paper was recycled this week? Yeah, the machine by the entrance logs today's input. Okay. My engineering unit submitted several requests to the... Okay. Would be more careful with their resources if we're able to see how much they are wasting. Notice any discrepancies? Were there any significant discrepancies lately, like lost paper that wasn't accounted for? Someone stealing stuff again? Give me a second, I'll check the stats. No significant losses, but some small amounts of paper have gone missing over the last few months. The system didn't issue any warnings because the quantities were negligible. Nothing is recycled at 100% efficiency. Threads of clothes come loose, a piece of plastic packaging is torn off. This is a little unusual, though. It happens very consistently. How long has this been happening? For 6 months now? Thank you. Tell me, that's all. Hidden compartment. Well, covered. It looks like somebody purposely unscrewed the plate and then loosely reattached it. Flipped it around and I found a symbol on its backside. What are you two doing down here? Captain told us to keep an eye out. The hidden compartment where the letter was found is just down the hall from here. We're keeping an eye on it from a distance in case someone else comes to check on it. Good. There. Hey, Chief, watch your step. A lot of clutter and not a lot of light down here. Looking for something in particular? Thank you for your concern, Engineer Tono. Just passing through. There's something I need to look into. Well, keep your eyes open. People get down here easily, especially without a helmet. Keep that in mind.
This was my first time being back in this part of the inner hull since the incident. My knees went soft as I approached the bridge. I closed my eyes and took a few deep breaths.
Okay. I don't need to be here at all. I need to go elsewhere. Alright. Chief, what a surprise! Good evening, Dever and Ocean. Hey, Stella. Nice of you to swing by on arrival day. Are you coming to our event at the museum later? It was all Ocean. She's planned and executed the whole thing. Dad, you did! You're always so humble. The installation is about, the mission. About people's job on the Zephyr and Eurus D. Yes, right. You should come. I'll swing by. I look forward to seeing you there. Dad, we should soon get her going ourselves. Hey, can I ask you something, Caretaker Devrin? I found a stack of paper in the activities room. Could you tell me what that's for? Paper? Oh, yes. Some activities involve drawing or writing with pencils. It's part of the current theme, how things were done back on Earth. People can take scans home, of course. The used paper goes into the recycler when the week is over. Do you know how much paper was left today when you closed for the week? Oof, no idea, to be honest. You need to have a look at the remaining sheets in the activities room. Would you notice if anyone took a piece of paper with them? I probably wouldn't. I'm there to supervise whenever it's open, but it's a big place and there's always a lot going on. But I don't think anyone would break the rules. I don't see why they would. How much paper do you have at your disposal every week? Let me think. I think it's refilled to 750 at the start of the week. Thank you for your help. Okay, Isaac said, according to the paper supplies, the extras were filled up to 750 every week. Uh, 409, okay, so 940. Okay, so the school, according to my math, was filled correctly. 260 went to there, but the activity room has 400 and so 750 minus 260. I think I went there. Now we gotta go. I forgot to take a look at the paper in the oh, I gotta go down. Okay, out that way. Bar. I noticed as we were walking past. Chief, you here for the party? Hi, everybody. Chief. Hi, Stella. You want a drink? Or are you just here to snoop on us? I'm working. Sorry. Snooping then. Why don't you ever share a bottle with us lowly folks? You know, I would really like to take some time off once in a while. Is there really so much crime happening in this village-sized ship? I mean, like you're ever at your job, Mika. Or Miko. Low blow, Naba. Well, I have to get going. I'm sure all that crime doesn't stop itself. Dude, shut up. What's with the boot looking all of a sudden? Be nice, Naba. I'll leave you guys to it. Paper left 495. Gonna be the room just based on the math. Hey, one question. I saw a stack of paper on the table over there. Oh yeah, we use it in our art club. I know it's old-fashioned. The blank sheets on the table are what's left over this week. Your paper supplies are delivered at the start of the week, correct? Yeah, exactly. How much paper do you have at your disposal every week? 750. So it is the activities is where the paper's stolen. People aren't allowed to take any paper home, right? No, paper is strictly a public resource. I put the used sheets into the recycler at the end of the week. Would you notice if someone took a sheet or two home? I don't know why anyone would do that. The rules are very clear. I'm sure they are, but would you notice if someone broke them? I suppose it's possible that someone slipped a sheet into their pocket while I wasn't watching. Alright, thank you for your help. Okay. Cases. Paper. Evidence. Cases. The paper chase. I think the top location was its saving. Please come to my office so we compare our operation at the Earth Museum. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that it's saving in the top corner. So I will be back for another episode. Thank you so much for keeping me company.